Even the women turned against the natural way to have sex and instead indulged in sex with each other. And the men, instead of having normal sexual relations with women, burned with lust for each other.
Amen.
I think that we need never lose sight of the fact that the enemy is fast at work, and he is the father of lies. He is an artist at deception, and if he can, distract us and get us focused on one thing to the neglect of something else that perhaps has even greater potential to take us from God, to separate us from God. Our struggle with pride, but that wasn't as socially unacceptable for me, so I didn't go to such great lengths to get someone to help me with my struggle with pride, and I very well should, because it has great potential to separate from God.
The point is the healing that can take place in families, to bring us to a better place, to bring us to know the power of God to work in ways that we have not talked about.
Church leaders are desperately in need of resources. They want answers as to how we can better help and serve and reach out to people. That's been my experience, is that there's a great deal of openness to the subject. Now, whether or not that translates into really knowing how to respond and doing the right thing all the time, responding as Jesus would to folks in the midst of this struggle, I don't know that we're there yet, but I know that God is opening doors, and that excites me to no end.
More importantly, that God works differently in each of our lives. And so what my experience is may not be my brothers and sisters' experience as well. But all I can tell you is what he did for me. I'm like the blind man in John 9.
I could feel the Lord's presence in this room, and it was encouraging to me to look at the faces of people in this room, to see tears, to see smiles, to see endorsement of the fact that we need to respond as Jesus does. That's encouraging to me as a fellow struggler in this area, as someone who has experienced same-sex attraction, to see that people's hearts are open and that we want to help in ways that we haven't been open to in the past. That's a great encouragement to me.